Whoopi Goldberg walked into that ABC studio on October 15th, thinking she was about to have another easy day controlling the narrative, lecturing America about kindness and respect, while the cameras rolled and millions of viewers nodded along with her moral authority. She had her talking points perfectly rehearsed, her trademark dismissive laugh ready to deploy, and that smug confidence that comes from decades of never being challenged by anyone who mattered. But what Whoopi didn't know was that Judge Judy Files had been sitting on explosive behind-the-scenes footage for 6 weeks. Footage that showed Whoopi's true face when she thought nobody important was watching. Footage involving a 22-year-old production assistant, 3 minutes and 47 seconds of pure cruelty, and evidence that would expose the most shocking hypocrisy in television history. Before we dive into this incredible case, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love seeing where my viewers are around the world. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss more unbelievable cases like this one. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. The moment that destroyed everything happened at exactly 3:22 p.m. during what was supposed to be a celebration of powerful women in daytime TV. Millions were watching live as Whoopi, feeling particularly bold after preaching about workplace respect for 20 minutes, looked directly at the 78-year-old television legend and delivered what she thought would be a clever insult that would put Judge Judy in her place. "Well, at least I don't look like a rat face when I'm angry," Whoopi said with that condescending laugh that had silenced countless view panelists over the years. The silence that followed lasted exactly 5 seconds, but those 5 seconds felt like an eternity, as you could literally watch Whoopi's entire world begin to crumble in real time. Her confident smirk started to fade as Judge Judy's eyes narrowed with surgical precision, her hands folded with the calm of someone who had been waiting months for exactly this moment. And then she delivered 6 words that would become the most devastating comeback in television history. "How's that production assistant doing, Whoopi?" The color drained from Whoopi's face so fast it looked like someone had pulled a plug. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. Someone in the studio audience whispered, "Oh my God," loud enough for the microphones to catch. And Judge Judy just sat there, calm as a predator who had finally cornered her prey, waiting for Whoopi's response because she knew what everyone was about to discover. She knew about the screaming. She knew about the tears. She knew about the 3-minute tirade that happened just 12 minutes after Whoopi finished a segment about workplace bullying. She knew about the footage that would make Whoopi's moral authority crumble like a house of cards. But most importantly, she knew that Whoopi had just given her the perfect opening to expose the biggest fraud in daytime television. If you want to see how 6 words can destroy a career built on fake moral authority and expose the most shocking celebrity hypocrisy ever caught on camera, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Because what Judge Judy revealed next didn't just end the interview. It started a revolution that changed how America sees their favorite TV personalities forever. Trust me, you've never seen anything like what's coming next. To understand why Judge Judy's 6 words hit Whoopi Goldberg like a nuclear bomb, you need to know exactly who these 2 television titans really are, and why this confrontation was 15 years in the making. Whoopi Goldberg isn't just any daytime TV host. She's the woman who built a $50 million empire by positioning herself as America's moral compass. The voice of reason who sits at that view table every morning lecturing the country about kindness, respect, and treating people with dignity. For over a decade, she's been the ultimate authority on what's right and wrong, shutting down arguments with righteous indignation, demanding civility from everyone around her, and presenting herself as the wise elder who's above the petty drama that defines modern television. But behind those studio doors, multiple sources reveal a completely different Whoopi Goldberg. She runs the View set like a ruthless dictator, deciding who gets to speak, who gets humiliated on national television, and who gets blacklisted from ever appearing on the show again. Her specialty isn't just disagreeing with people. It's systematically destroying anyone who challenges her while hiding behind her image as a champion of free speech and open dialogue. Former staff members describe a woman who screams at makeup artists for using the wrong shade of foundation, berates camera operators for catching her bad angles, and treats production assistants like they're less than human. One former View producer told me off the record that working for Whoopi was like walking on eggshells around someone who could end your career with a single phone call, all while she's preaching about kindness to millions of viewers. On the other side of this battle, you have Judge Judy Files, and if Whoopi is a fake moral preacher, Judge Judy is a genuine truth warrior. She's the former family court judge who spent 25 years dealing with liars, cheaters, and manipulators before building her own television empire by never accepting excuses, never tolerating fake tears, and never backing down from anyone regardless of their celebrity status or public reputation. Judge Judy doesn't make accusations she can't prove with evidence. She doesn't throw punches she can't land with devastating precision. And she absolutely never bluffs when she's holding a winning hand. What makes Judge Judy so dangerous to people like Whoopi is her background as an actual judge who spent decades reading people's lies, spotting their tells and exposing their true character under pressure. She's seen every type of manipulator, every brand of fake victim, and every species of bully who hides behind righteous anger. More importantly, she's built her entire reputation on the principle that your public image means absolutely nothing if your private behavior tells a different story. She's the kind of person who quietly takes notes, carefully documents everything, and waits for the perfect moment to reveal what she's learned about who you really are when you think nobody important is watching. The war between these two women started 15 years ago at a daytime television awards ceremony that most people forgot about, but Judge Judy never did. Whoopi was accepting an award for outstanding contribution to daytime television when she decided to take a shot at Judge Judy's courtroom style during her acceptance speech. "Some people in this business think being harsh and judgmental makes good television," Whoopi said while looking directly at Judge Judy in the audience. "But I believe in showing compassion, understanding, and treating everyone with the respect they deserve as human beings." The cameras caught Judge Judy's reaction, a slight smile that looked polite to most viewers, but anyone who knew her recognized as the expression of someone filing away information for future use. From that moment, Judge Judy began paying very close attention to Whoopi's behavior, not out of petty revenge, but because she genuinely despised hypocrites who built careers on moral authority they didn't actually possess. She started hearing stories from makeup artists who worked on both shows, production companies that serviced multiple networks, and industry insiders who witnessed the massive gap between Whoopi's public persona and her private conduct. Judge Judy realized that Whoopi represented everything she hated most about modern celebrity culture: famous people who lectured others about values they completely ignored in their own lives. Over the next 15 years, Judge Judy watched Whoopi's hypocrisy grow more blatant and more damaging. She saw young staffers quit the industry after being destroyed by Whoopi's behind-the-scenes tantrums. She heard about guests who were humiliated not for their views, but for daring to disagree with someone who saw herself as morally superior to everyone around her. Most importantly, she realized that someone needed to hold Whoopi accountable for the difference between who she pretended to be and who she actually was. Judge Judy decided that someone would be her, and she was willing to wait as long as necessary for the perfect moment to strike. That moment came on October 15th, when Whoopi made the fatal mistake of insulting Judge Judy's appearance while sitting on top of the biggest secret of her career. The smoking gun that would destroy Whoopi's career landed in Judge Judy's hands on September 3rd at exactly 11:47 a.m., delivered by someone Whoopi never suspected would betray her trust. Marcus Rodriguez had been working as a senior camera technician at ABC for 12 years, operating the behind-the-scenes cameras that continuously roll during view tapings to capture B-roll footage and backstage moments. He'd seen plenty of celebrity meltdowns over the years, but what he witnessed on that Tuesday morning was so shocking that he couldn't stay silent anymore. It started with something so trivial it would have been laughable if the reaction hadn't been so devastating. A 22-year-old production assistant named Sarah Chen, working her first month at ABC after graduating from Northwestern with dreams of becoming a television producer, accidentally brought Whoopi oat milk instead of almond milk in her morning coffee. The mistake happened because Sarah was rushing to prepare for a live taping while simultaneously handling 3 other urgent requests from different view hosts. But Whoopi didn't care about explanations. What Marcus captured on his behind-the-scenes camera was 3 minutes and 47 seconds of pure, unfiltered cruelty that would make your stomach turn. Whoopi didn't just correct the mistake or express disappointment. She launched into a character assassination that reduced Sarah to tears within 30 seconds. "How are you this incompetent?" Whoopi screamed while the girl stood frozen with the coffee cup shaking in her hands. "Are you actually this stupid? Or are you just pretending to be worthless to waste my time? I don't understand how someone with your level of intelligence even graduated from high school, let alone college." The tirade continued with Whoopi threatening to make sure Sarah never worked in television again, calling her a complete failure as a human being, and demanding to know what kind of pathetic parents raised someone this useless. The footage showed Sarah's face crumbling as she apologized over and over while Whoopi continued attacking her character, her intelligence, and her worth as a person. Other View staff members stood watching in horrified silence, afraid to intervene because they knew Whoopi's wrath would turn on them next. The most devastating part was the timestamp showing this happened at 9:23 a.m., just 12 minutes after Whoopi finished taping a segment about workplace bullying, where she passionately declared that anyone who uses their position of power to hurt someone who can't defend themselves is nothing but a coward and a bully. Marcus had filmed thousands of hours of behind-the-scenes footage, but this was different. This wasn't a celebrity having a bad day or losing their temper under pressure. This was calculated psychological warfare designed to break another human being's spirit. He made copies of the footage and spent 2 weeks debating what to do with it. He could leak it to TMZ and probably make decent money. But something about Sarah's broken expression made him want justice rather than profit. That's when he remembered Judge Judy's reputation for holding powerful people accountable for their actions. Through a mutual friend who worked in television production, Marcus arranged to meet Judge Judy at a quiet restaurant in Manhattan. He showed her the footage on his phone, and for 3 minutes and 47 seconds, Judge Judy watched in silence as America's moral authority destroyed a young woman's dignity over a coffee order. When the video ended, Judge Judy looked at Marcus with an expression he would never forget. "This is exactly who I thought she was," she said quietly. "The question is, when do we show America who she really is?" Marcus handed her a flash drive containing the full footage. Judge Judy slipped it into her purse and made Marcus a promise that would change everything. "When the right moment comes, Sarah Chen is going to get the justice she deserves. And Whoopi Goldberg is going to learn what accountability feels like." The ABC special Legends of Daytime was supposed to be Whoopi Goldberg's victory lap, a carefully orchestrated celebration where she would be praised for her decades of moral leadership while sitting next to television royalty. The questions were pre-approved softball pitches. The topics were safe and flattering, and Whoopi's publicist had personally guaranteed there would be no surprises or uncomfortable moments. What Whoopi didn't realize was that Judge Judy had quietly influenced the show's format through her own connections at ABC, specifically requesting that the conversation include a segment about handling criticism and maintaining authenticity in the public eye. For the first 22 minutes, everything went exactly as Whoopi expected. She delivered her practice talking points about empowering women, championing the underdog, and using her platform to spread kindness and understanding. The studio audience nodded appreciatively as she painted herself as a beacon of moral authority in an industry full of shallow celebrities and manufactured drama. Judge Judy played along perfectly, offering supportive comments and sharing her own experiences with grace and professionalism. Whoopi was so comfortable that she started ad-libbing, going off script with additional examples of her own wisdom and compassion. Then host Robin Roberts asked the question that would trigger everything. "Both of you have reputations for being direct, sometimes even tough with people. How do you balance that with treating everyone with respect and kindness?" Judge Judy answered first with her typical honesty. "I am exactly the same person on camera that I am off camera. I treat everyone with the respect they earn through their behavior and their choices. Consistency is everything in this business and in life." That's when Whoopi made the catastrophic decision that ended her career as America's moral authority. Perhaps threatened by Judge Judy's implication about consistency, or maybe just caught up in her own ego, she decided to put the 78-year-old judge in her place with what she thought would be a devastating personal attack disguised as humor. "Well, at least I don't look like a rat face when I'm angry," Whoopi said with that trademark condescending laugh, her eyes sparkling with the cruel satisfaction of someone who thought they delivered the perfect insult. "I mean, I try to remember that there are real people watching, real families, and they don't need to see someone scowling at them like they owe money for rent." The studio audience gave a few uncomfortable chuckles, clearly unsure whether this was playful banter or genuine hostility. Whoopi seemed delighted with herself, apparently convinced she'd scored a clever point about her own superior approach to television. She leaned back in her chair with that smug expression that had become her signature look whenever she felt she'd won an argument. Judge Judy's response came in the same calm, measured tone she had used to deliver verdicts for 25 years. But every syllable was loaded with the precision of a surgical scalpel. "Speaking of real families, Whoopi, how's that production assistant doing? You know, Sarah Chen? The one whose family watched her cry for an hour after you called her worthless over a coffee order." The transformation in Whoopi's face was instant and absolute, like watching a mask slip off to reveal the monster underneath. The silence that followed Judge Judy's devastating question lasted exactly 8 seconds. But those 8 seconds felt like watching a car crash in slow motion, as Whoopi's entire world imploded on live television. Her confident smirk vanished so completely, it was like someone had erased it with Photoshop, replaced by wide-eyed panic as her brain desperately tried to process how Judge Judy could possibly know about Sarah Chen. Her mouth opened and closed 3 times without producing a single sound, while her hands gripped the armrest of her chair so tightly her knuckles went completely white. What are you? That's completely inappropriate," Whoopi finally stammered, her voice cracking on every word as she realized she was trapped with nowhere to run. The woman who had spent decades confidently destroying other people on national television suddenly couldn't form a coherent sentence when faced with her own medicine. Judge Judy wasn't finished. "Inappropriate? she repeated, raising one eyebrow with surgical precision. What's inappropriate is screaming at a 22-year-old girl for 3 minutes and 47 seconds, calling her worthless, incompetent, and a failure as a human being, all because she brought you the wrong type of milk in your coffee. What's inappropriate is doing that 12 minutes after you finished. Lecturing America about workplace bullying, the studio erupted in gasps and whispered, "Oh my gods," as the audience realized they were witnessing the most brutal takedown in television history. Cameras caught Whoopi's face cycling through pure panic, desperate anger, and complete humiliation as she searched for any possible escape from the trap Judge Judy had perfectly constructed. "You can't just make accusations without proof," Whoopi said, trying to summon her old authority but sounding more like a cornered animal than a television icon. That's when Judge Judy smiled, the same cold smile that had terrified countless liars in her courtroom. "Accusations? I'm not making accusations, Whoopi. I'm stating facts that I can prove with footage from your own behind-the-scenes cameras. Would you like me to play it right now, or would you prefer to apologize to Sarah Chen first?" The color drained from Whoopi's face so fast, she looked like she might faint on live television. This is harassment. This is a coordinated attack on my character," she whispered, her voice barely audible as the full weight of her exposure crashed down on her. Before Judge Judy could respond, the studio audience began reacting audibly. Someone shouted, "Show the footage," while others started pulling out their phones to capture Whoopi's meltdown. Host Robin Roberts tried to regain control, but it was too late. Social media had already exploded with Dowager Whoopi exposed trending worldwide within minutes. Judge Judy's final blow came with the calm delivery of a death sentence. "The only person who attacked your character, Whoopi, was you. I'm just making sure America finally sees who you really are when you think nobody important is watching. Sarah Chen deserved better than your cruelty, and America deserves better than your hypocrisy. If you think this public destruction was brutal, wait until you see what happened in the next 24 hours when the footage Judge Judy mentioned actually surfaced, and America saw Whoopi's true face for the first time. Make sure you're subscribed because what comes next will shock you even more than what you've already seen." Within 6 hours of Judge Judy's devastating takedown, TMZ obtained the behind-the-scenes footage that destroyed any remaining doubt about Whoopi's character. The 3-minute video showed exactly what Judge Judy had described, but seeing it was infinitely worse than hearing about it. America watched in horror, as their supposed moral authority systematically destroyed a young woman's spirit over a coffee mistake, calling Sarah Chen worthless, incompetent, and a complete failure as a human being, while the girl stood trembling with tears streaming down her face. The backlash was immediate and merciless. Our Whoopi hypocrite exploded across every social platform with over 2.3 million posts in the first day. The View's official Instagram was flooded with thousands of comments demanding Whoopi's firing. Corporate sponsors began quietly pulling their advertisements from time slots featuring Whoopi's segments. Most devastatingly, Sarah Chen herself broke her silence through a statement that went viral within hours. "I stayed quiet because I was afraid of losing my career, but Judge Judy gave me the courage to speak my truth. What happened to me happens to young women in this industry every day." ABC launched an emergency investigation, while Whoopi's representatives desperately tried damage control, but the evidence was undeniable, and the public's rage was unstoppable. America had finally seen behind the mask. 8 months later, the transformation was complete and permanent. Whoopi remains on The View, but her role has been dramatically reduced, her moral authority permanently shattered, and her speaking fees cut by 70%. She's forced to sit quietly while younger co-hosts take the lead on topics she once dominated with righteous lectures. ABC implemented strict workplace policies specifically because of her behavior, including mandatory sensitivity training and anonymous reporting systems for staff complaints. Judge Judy emerged from the confrontation with her legend enhanced, praised across the industry for using her platform to defend someone who couldn't defend themselves. Her new show saw a 40% ratings boost as America celebrated a real authority figure who actually lived by the principles she preached. Most importantly, Sarah Chen received job offers from 5 major networks and now works as an associate producer on Judge Judy's show, where she's treated with genuine respect and dignity. "Judge Judy didn't just defend me," Sarah said in a follow-up interview. "She changed the entire conversation about how powerful people treat those who work for them." This story proves that authentic character always defeats manufactured moral authority. Judge Judy showed America that real power doesn't come from lecturing others about values you ignore in private. It comes from consistently living those values when nobody important is watching. She proved you don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need to be cruel to be strong. And sometimes the most devastating response to a bully is simply showing everyone who they really are. If this story showed you why genuine integrity always triumphs over fake moral superiority, Smash that like button and subscribe for more incredible celebrity exposés. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite moment from Judge Judy's masterclass in accountability. Was it the rat face comeback? Her surgical precision in revealing the evidence, or the way she stayed completely calm while destroying Whoopi's reputation? Drop your thoughts below and I'll see you in the next video, where we expose even more shocking celebrity hypocrites who thought they were untouchable. The most powerful weapon against any hypocrite isn't anger or insults. It's simply revealing the truth at exactly the right moment. Whoopi Goldberg learned that lesson in the most public way possible. The question is, which fake moral authority is going to be exposed next?